welcome to my channel. My name's Elizabeth. Today's reading is going to be a pick a card reading on what your personality says about who you have been in your past lives, and kind of how that relates to your life today and your purpose, your mission, just whatever wants to come out that your guides, your ancestors, your higher self wants to bring through to you pertaining to that subject. So I've got a little mugwort burning here. I think it just actually went out. I only burn a little bit because it can be a little overpowering. But I have some incense I'm gonna burn as soon as we start with the readings. But first I want to let you guys pick your piles or pick your groups. So in light of it being Cancer season and the full moon last night, which I hope everyone had a safe and good full moon experience, whatever you did or didn't do, if you stayed in or spent it with others. So the first, so I'm using the Queen of the Moon Oracle to pick your piles. So pile 1 is, or group 1 is going to be this card. That's going to be group 1. Group 2 is going to be this card. And if you resonate with this card, your reading will be group 3. So I'll hold them up all at once for you guys. And you guys can pause the video and kind of maybe take a couple deep breaths, tune into your intuition to see which resonates with you, but don't overthink it. Don't overthink your intuition. Hopefully the glare isn't too bad. Okay. Let's get a good look at all of them. So 1, 2, and then group 3. So pause the video if you need, and we'll get started with group 1. So hi group 1, if you chose this card from the Queen of the Moon Oracle deck, this beauty card, it's one of my favorites in the deck, I think. I mean, they're all my favorite. I think I say that about everything. It is at the moment, in the moment that I'm experiencing it, it's my favorite. But I just love how, her face is made out of flowers, and you've got the butterflies, just nature, like the artwork is just really beautiful on this card. So, alright group 1, I'll light this incense and then light some sage and we'll get going. Light. Have to wait for a minute. I know I did mugwort before I started the video, but don't know, saging on camera has just become part of my thing, and it's just something that looks like that's gonna stick. So here we go, saging. Just clearing the space. Ancestors, guides, higher selves of group 1. Let me clear the energy so that I can tune into their intuition and bring them the messages that they need to hear today that resonate with them and can bring them into alignment with their highest potential self. I'm going to sage the runes. I really like starting out with the runes. So we'll pull some runes first. And I do still have to use my little cheat sheet. Maybe one day I won't. For now. Alright. Group 1 spirit guides. What does group 1 need to hear today? About how their personality is affected or relates to their past lives. We've got the rings. We've got the eye. And romance is what this rune is called. But it reminds me of like Celtic knot like symbolism, and it always reminds me whenever I see this of like the Morrigan goddess. If you know who that is, or if you don't know who that is, she's actually a goddess represented in several different I guess types of mysticism or paths of occultism, I guess, paganism. She represents the 3 in 1, so the maiden, the mother, and the crone. That's always what this reminds me of when I see it, but its name is romance. Okay, and this one came out in the middle, and it says, this is the eye. At the bottom it says, look at the facing runes for clues. So, the description they give is lifting the veil, or seeing through, seeing truth, focusing on something, psychic abilities, and witnessing. So you might be, and with this always reminding me of like the Morrigan goddess in the 3 in 1, you might be like a high priestess type, and also I feel like you're very easy on the eyes too. You're very physically attractive, whether you're male or female, non-binary, you know, we're inclusive at this channel. So, but you're very just physically beautiful to look at, I feel like, and especially with the card Beauty here, But I don't think that that is all the card represents for you. And the rings are circumstances that connect people, combining different elements to create something new. And then, of course, the romance, love, and relationships, deep emotional connections, soulmates, harmony. So I feel like part of your personality is bringing people together, and it's maybe you attract people with your outer beauty, but then it's the inner beauty that shines through that really kind of magnetizes people to you. And I feel like you're very good at bringing kind of like a social butterfly, like the butterfly on the card here, that's like as her nose. You're good at bridging gaps between different groups and seeing different perspectives. I feel like that's part of your personality. And I feel like that does relate to who you were in a past life. I definitely feel like you've always been like this, like seer. Maybe you have maybe you're clairvoyant or have some type of like claircognizant where you don't know how you know things, you just know them. You're able to like kind of see through people's falsities, their facades, kind of just like cut through to the core of who somebody is or what a situation is. And that's helped you in past lives, and you've been able to use it to your advantage and also to the benefit of others in this life, I feel like. Okay, so that's the start. Alright, very interesting. Hopefully that resonates with you. And we will get your tarot cards now. So what deck do I want to use? This one. So I'm going to use the Santa Marta deck. Spirit, what does Group 1 need to hear today about their personality and how it relates to their past lives and possibly their purpose in this life? So I'm going to just start with a couple cards and like get a feel for your personality first. Your personality traits that been carried through over from past lives. We got two. Okay. So we have the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. I've got the Page of Cups coming out second, and then Queen of Pentacles. So we will just start there. So with the Pentacles, and then this, your Oracle card that you picked, I feel like you're very earthy. And I feel like you're very connected to your intuition as well. That's another like confirmation from this eye rune that was pulled out, or that came out for you. Yeah, very intuitive. And with this Page of Cups, I feel like you're seen as someone who has a lot of love to give. Yet I also feel like people perceive you, or you feel as though people perceive you as possibly like a bit naive. But with this Two of Cups reversed that came out on the bottom of the deck, I wasn't sure I was going to read it. I wasn't sure how these cards were going to be read, but I do feel like it relates. I feel like, and this Queen of Pentacles here in the upright, you know more than, and then this eye, you know more than people give you credit for. You're more aware and observative and tuned in to people's intentions than, and a better judge of character than I feel like either people give you credit for, or that you feel like people give you credit, like you feel like people perceive you that way, as someone that's maybe like mistakes that people might perceive you in a way that mistakes your kindness for weakness. And with this Nine of Pentacles reversed, that you could be easily taken advantage of. But with this Queen of Pentacles here, and possibly that could have been a lesson, you know, that you had to learn in this life, but you're regardless of people's opinions of you, if they still see you in that way or not, like, or if you have been on that type of journey of learning that about yourself, I feel like you if that is a lesson that you a path that you walked, I feel like you have gained more self-awareness and learned your lesson quickly the first time around, and yeah, you're more connected and aware of others' intentions than maybe people give you credit for, or you feel like people give you credit for. I feel like you're very good with finances as well. Or people could perceive you that way. I feel like maybe you had some kind of a loss, and but now you're rebuilding. See, she's climbing a ladder. Kind of more aware of who you are and what you want and going after it. I do feel like people see you as that type of person though, as like headstrong and confident in what you want, or resilient, I guess. While still being a very loving, giving person. Okay, let's get some more cards. Oh, my foot is cramping up. I love sitting cross-legged in this chair, but my foot cramps up every time. All right, spirit guides, ancestors, group ones, anybody watching for group ones, spirit teams. What do my group ones need to know about their personality and who they were in a past life? Or how it relates to who they were in a past life. Six of Cups, wait, no, Nine of Cups reversed. Five of Pentacles reversed. And the Fool. Bottom of the deck, we've got Two of Pentacles. Okay. So I feel like you, with these, all of these reverse cards here, the Nine of Pentacles reversed, the Nine of Cups reversed, the Five of Pentacles reversed, I feel like you experienced a lot of loss in a past life or lives. Get a couple more cards because, okay, Page of Pentacles and Seven of Wands reversed. Okay. Yeah, and this loss has kind of made you feel a sense of lack. In this life, maybe lack of abundance, possibly materially. With both these pentacles, all these pentacles, and then this Page of Pentacles, see how she's like stuffing stuff in her bag. Maybe it's caused you to kind of not step out of your comfort zone, or do what you want to do, or step into the unknown, start something new, because you're afraid of, your soul remembers that loss that you experienced, and you don't want to, you want to avoid like that. You know, the Seven of Wands is about struggle and like spiritual battle and turmoil, and with it reversed, you know, you're trying at all costs to avoid that by doing whatever you can to, you know, keep, you know, like you're like a squirrel for the winter, like stocking up, like gathering acorns, and like nothing's ever enough. Yeah, with this Two of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck, I feel like you struggle to find balance. You maybe take on a lot, too much, because of that feeling of lack, and you got another butterfly here. So that might be significant to you, like these two faces make up a butterfly. These two skulls each have a half of a butterfly. That might also interfere with like your love life and emotional fulfillment, feeling a balance between your work and social life, work and relationships. Yeah. All right. Okay, Spirit. What else do you want? What else do you want Group 1 to know about who they were in a past life? The Wheel of Fortune. And the Seven of Swords. And how it relates to their purpose in this life. So what does my Group 1 need to know? Page of Wands. Ten of Pentacles. Another butterfly. Or is it a moth? I think this, I think it's a moth. Still though. And 5 of Wands reversed, so that's another like card of spiritual, like internal struggle. Bottom of the deck we have another two of Wands. So you had, the first time I pulled, you had the 2 of Cups reversed on the bottom. Second time I pulled, you had the 2 of Pentacles. Now you have the 2 of Wands. So 222. That might also be significant for you. Red might also be significant for you. I see a lot of red popping out. Possibly you could have experienced the like loss of a soulmate or lover. In past lives, and that could have affected like not only, you know, your spirit and emotional, psychological well-being, and been traumatic for you on that level, but it could have also, with these pentacles, you know, leaving you unable to provide for yourself, and that could be where a lot of this feeling of like lack is coming from. With this 7 of Swords, it also could have been maybe like your lover, you could have had a relationship where it was like taboo. Whatever that may be. You know, same-sex relationship, not being married, you know, maybe like being a woman or feminine and being ostracized for like, kind of like the Scarlet Letter, having a child. Well, I don't think she had a child out of wedlock, but being like considered an adulteress or adulterer. Just something that had to stay hidden. And that could also be like your psychic abilities as well. And you could have also been ostracized for that, like, or possibly caught and murdered for that. I mean, obviously we all have many past lives, but I feel like one is coming through the strongest here, which is, you know, one of those scenarios. Or it could have been you lived a life where you were in all of those scenarios, or each of those scenarios. Yeah, and you had to make a choice. Or you are right now needing to make a choice, and all this stuff is kind of coming into play. With it, like affecting the way you go about deciding, or choosing which path to take if you are at a crossroads at the moment. But with the Wheel of Fortune, you know, it's this is a card of fate, of destiny, of karma. And I don't say karma like a bad thing. Like, I don't, you know, we're all just here to learn, right? So I feel like, yeah, instead of being letting, like in your past life, letting your fear take over, and about needing to keep whatever it was secret, or not following that path because of fear of people finding out, like, you were compelled to follow it with this Page of Wands and this Ten of Pentacles. And with all these pentacles, I definitely feel like you were, you know, and the eye and all your runes, your oracle card, everything. You worked with, like, earth spirits, you know, religions that weren't the mainstream, that weren't Christianity, that were not accepted. You had a lot of occult knowledge, and you chose to and knowledge about yourself, and what you wanted and who you were, and that society was wrong and you were right. Like you knew that intuitively, and I feel like you know that intuitively now, whatever you're being guided toward. So whatever decision or choice you make, if you're at a crossroads at the moment, Spirit is saying, don't let your fear dictate your decision. I mean, use discernment, and definitely, like, you're a good planner with this Queen of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles, Ten of Pentacles upright. I feel like you're a good planner. So use discernment and definitely make a plan before starting, a new venture. But don't let these fears that are very, soul level fears holding you back because of what you've experienced in past lives. Don't let that dictate the decision that you make regarding what path to choose. Yeah, and it could be with the Knight of Swords reversed underneath, it could be something about speaking your truth. Maybe sharing your non-traditional beliefs or gifts or abilities with the world, using them as your service to humanity. I feel like with this and the Queen of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles upright, like, if that's the issue, you are going to be successful, or doing something that you're passionate about, putting effort into something that you're passionate about, that maybe you feel like won't be accepted and will lead to more struggle than success. Maybe you're scared of taking that route and finding more misery and struggle and rejection or fear on that path, instead of the abundance that it'll bring you to, and that you crave, that you're working so hard to build. You'll be successful at it. And you know, with this Seven of Swords, I'm also feeling like, I'm also hearing Spirit say, if you know people are gonna be negative about it and they're gonna put that energy on you, you don't have to tell them. Don't tell them. Don't tell them what you're doing. Just wait. Just wait until, just do it in silence, and or not in silence, but you know, you don't need to share it with everyone. Share it if you feel compelled to share with this Nine of Swords reversed, but you don't have to share it with everyone. Okay, group 1. I think that is all the messages coming through for you today. Hopefully it made some kind of sense. Yeah, I think that's it. Alright, thanks so much if you stuck with me the whole time. I know my readings can be kind of long and there's lots of space between, but if you did and you resonated, I really appreciate you. It would really help me if you subscribed and hit the like button if you know you feel called to, if you resonated. I hope at the very least this message gave you some kind of clarity, an understanding that you're on the right track, that you're being guided, and a little bit of hope, knowing that your guides are all around, your ancestors are supporting you, and you're not doing this alone. So thanks so much, group 1. Like I said, I appreciate you letting me read your cards. If you stuck with me this time, it was a pleasure. Yeah, I hope you have a great rest of your day or night, wherever you are in the world, whatever time it is for you. And I hope you'll join me next time. Oh, and also, if you would like a more private, in-depth reading, if you resonate with my energy, my email is how you can get in touch with me to set that up, and it is in the description box below. So thanks so much. I appreciate you. Welcome to your reading, group 2. If you chose this card from the Queen of the Moon Oracle deck, The Path, this reading is for you. I just lit some sage. It's still a little bit lit, but I'll just go ahead and clear this the energy from the past reading. Spirits, angels, guides, ancestors, help me to connect with group 2, to spirit guides, ancestors, angels, to bring them the reading message they need to hear today that'll be most beneficial, and put them on the path toward their highest good and expansion. Alright. Let's go ahead and take these cards. Okay. Just let that burn. And I'm going to pull some runes because I like starting out that way. So we're gonna do that. All right, Spirit, what does group 2 need to hear about who they were, how their personality relates to who they were in a past life, and how it affects their life purpose in this life, or who they were in past lives, I should say. Alright. I have my little cheat sheet over here because I still haven't learned. Alright, so you have the crossroads, making a major life decision, unknown, stuck, being afraid of moving forward is the description for this. The moon, long-term change, long-term changes coming, transition, change, could also represent like things that are being hidden from you. You know, the moon is our inner self, our ego, our inner world, emotions, imagination, the feminine energy, it's yin energy, it's inward reflective energy. And then you have flight, so movement, communication and information, and travel of all kinds. So that could mean, you know, travel of all kinds. That could mean, you know, it doesn't have to just be physical 3D travel. It could also be mental travel of the mind, spiritual travel on the astral plane, you know, going deeper into your own subconscious, you know, desires and fears, you know, exploring your own consciousness. Or it could be both. It could be both. And then, you know, that could lead you to, since you're at a crossroads, to making a decision of moving, uprooting, what else does it say to me? You could have also been drawn to pile 1 because there could also be messages for you in that pile, because they were also at the end, I was channeling that they were on the cusp of like making a major life decision that could, you know, lead to 2 opposite results or consequences. And they also had the eye, which is, I don't know what else, I forget the other one they had, which was like, oh yeah, the romance one, which I always, when I see it, I always think of Celtic knot symbols, and for some reason I always think of, when I see that symbol, particularly the 3-in-1, the Morrigan, the goddess, the Celtic goddess, and the 3-in-1 goddess is represented in many like pagan cultures or religions. Lots of feminine energy and like high priestess energy, and I feel like that's coming through here with the moon and the path card, and then this coming out beside it, which is like what's coming through is like traversing the inner landscape of your own consciousness and mind, and how that has led you to like a crossroads, or you feel like now you have like a major decision to make because of some kind of realization you've had. Yeah. Alright, so now we will get into tarot. I don't know what deck I'm going to use. My sage is still burning, so not too. Alright, Spirit, what does group 2 need to hear about how their personality relates to who they were in past lives, or how their past lives affect their personality and it's tied to their life purpose in this life? First, I'm just going to pull a couple cards, just representative of like your personality, and get a feel for that. Alright, Spirit, what is group 2 like? What is group 2's personality that they've carried over with them from previous lives? 9 of Pentacles, 5 of Pentacles reversed, King of Swords. So the first 2 cards that came out were also cards that came out in group 1's reading. So like I said, if you were drawn to that, or had a hard time choosing between 1 and 2, that could be why. Also, 5 of Wands on the bottom of the deck was also in their reading, so you might want to go back and watch that as well if you had a hard time choosing. So with this 5 of Wands being on the bottom of the deck like this, and then this King of Swords upright coming out, I feel like you have no problem in conflict, like telling the truth, even if it's a little bit harsh. But I feel like you do it with dignity, and you have a lot of integrity about you, and I feel like you try your best to be respectful of others when you speak, and that really comes across. and people respect you for telling the truth, and maybe also for standing up for others as well, like that you might see as being bullied or like the underdog in a situation. You might be the one that kind of steps in and puts bullies in their place. Very strong energy of just like cutting through the bullshit, and if something needs to be said, or you feel that something needs to be said, you're gonna say it. Regardless if, if people get offended, that's their problem, not yours. Like, you don't seek to offend, but you're going to be honest whether it could offend someone or not. But I don't see you as like mean, or going out of your way to point things out to people. Like, I feel like with this moon energy, and this, the flight, the communications, and the King of Swords upright, I feel like you use your power for with words for good. You try to you only say something that could hurt someone's feelings if it's like constructive criticism, or like I said, somebody's being bullied and you're like standing up for someone, or whether, or like standing up for what you believe is right, whether it's an unpopular opinion with the people that are surrounding you at the time or not. With this Nine of Pentacles and then this Five of Pentacles reversed before the King of Swords, I feel like you are doing just fine materially. Like, you're not worried about how the way you communicate things is gonna, you don't let the worry of lacking material resources or comforts affect the way you communicate with others. Yeah, so I feel like that's like your personality. But you know when to be, like, you know, I feel like you have a very balanced, kind of with this earth energy, and just the picture of the moon on this card, and then the rune coming out, then with the King of Swords, and then the wands. Like, you have a very, very balanced inner feminine and masculine energy that enables you to speak with integrity and be aware of others' feelings, but also not like taking or catering to bullshit, or kissing someone's ass because you're afraid of losing materialistic resources, money, whatever, it affecting your finances or anything. Alright, so Spirit, what does group 2 need to hear about their past life and how it affects their personality in this life, or their past lives, who they were in their past lives, and how it affects them today in this life and the decisions they make. Right. The Devil reversed, 9 of Swords, 8 of Swords reversed, I'm going to get a couple more, 5 of Cups, and the Hanged Man. Bottom of the deck is 4 of Wands reversed. Alright, so the first part of the reading is different from how I describe the personality of group 1, but there could also be messages for you in that too, like it could be a mesh. You could take different things from each, but who were you in a past life, and how's that affecting your personality. Oh yeah, but the second part is like very similar in that both groups has something to do with loss and sacrifice in their past lives. And like maybe something taboo, like with this devil reversed, and then this Nine of Swords out beside it. Along with your moon rune and the moon on the oracle card you picked. I feel like in your past lives that might be coming through now and affecting you or influencing your personality was that you were very connected to the earth and possibly had like what people would consider like taboo relationships or a taboo relationship during the times. Kind of feeling like, or participating like in something that was in a spiritual practice that was not mainstream, that was demonized, and feeling like you had to hide it. Because then you've got this Nine of Swords here, and it really weighed on you. It was really heavy. Then this Four of Wands reversed on the bottom of the deck. I feel like it kept you in a feeling of perpetual like desire and fear and desire. When this Eight of Swords reversed, I feel like the only way you saw to get out of this constant fear that you were feeling was to give something up that maybe meant a lot to you with the Five of Cups and Hanged Man. Possibly could be a relationship, or making the decision to, because we've got this rune of travel, move away from like your family, or both your family and this a person that you've had like a taboo relationship that you've kind of had to keep hidden from everyone else. You had to make the choice to move to a different land, like far away from everything you loved and known, possibly in order to save yourself with this Hanged Man here, or to save your family or your lover. Because whatever it is you were participating in, you knew you couldn't be open about it, and you knew that if anyone found out, with this Knight of Swords underneath this reverse, underneath this Four of Wands reverse, if anyone found out the truth, you would be killed, or worst case scenario, everyone you loved and yourself would be could have been murdered for whatever it is, for who you were, for being honest about who you were. So, alright, let's get some more cards here. So, Spirit, what does Group 2 need to know about their past lives, and how it's affecting their personality, and how to move forward in order to live their life purpose, to kind of be the best version of themselves and get through this, transmute, alchemize this karma that they've experienced in past lives. Okay, you've got the Three of Pentacles, Knight of Wands, Six of Wands reversed, Eight of Wands reversed. Let's do one more. And the Magician. Lots of wands. And then you get the Magician. And you do have every element represented in your reading, along with the Magician. So I'm feeling like it definitely has something to do with occultism and teaching that, practicing that, feel like so many of our stories of us in the spiritual community who are into learning about and knowledgeable about the occult, and have had similar experiences and traumas in past lives that we're working through. So bottom of the deck is King of Wands. Just like group 1, the message is like you have to make the decision when faced with it to be true to you, no matter what society or those around you may think of you, or or say or act towards you because of it. Move away from people that are not accepting of the genuine, the authentic you, or that make you feel like you have to hide parts of yourself. And I'm not saying like cut family completely off. I'm not telling you to do that. I would never tell anyone to do that. Use your discernment, but just maybe use your discernment with what you share with them. And I know like it's a shitty feeling, but if you know that you're just going to be criticized, maybe don't share with them what you're working on, or your goals, or what you're learning about, or these things that you're interested in that like I said, you're going to be just criticized for and made to feel like you felt in the past, which is like, in order to be myself, I have to move away. I have to give something up, or I have to give myself up. If you feel called to do work, or if you're on the path to self-realization and consciousness expansion and self-awareness, and you have to choose between being your authentic self or being the self that, the story of the self that was created for you by society, by your parents, maybe even then like that you bought into by you. The only way to not feel these ways, this Nine of Swords, Five of Cups, Hanged Man energy, is by choosing that path. The path. That path of self-awareness and of going into that, learning about your authentic self, and possibly sharing that with others. Maybe even taboo things like sexuality. Maybe you could be maybe you're a healer and you can, the medium through which you heal others or are of service to humanity and can be your authentic self is by like some sort of like sex therapist work, because the moon is all about what is hidden and, you know, the feminine, demonized, and then the Three of Pentacles always gives me that. It's like a sexual energy to me, but also like occult, mystical energy. You know, something to do with healing, helping heal the feminine. And if you do that, if you choose that path of authenticity, things are going to come in fast for you with this Knight of Wands and this King of Wands. And you might, with this Knight of Wands, feel a little like unsure of yourself at first, like ambivalent, nervous, because of all this past energy that your soul has accumulated through other lifetimes, this past pain. You know, remembering that trauma, you know, your soul stores that in your body. But you're going to go from the Knight of Wands to this King of Wands very quickly, and underneath the King of Wands on the bottom of the deck is the Ten of Swords reversed. So you're gonna transmute that energy, and this is all the Magician, Mercury, the Alchemist. You have the ability and knowledge and experience held within yourself, you know, ready to be unlocked to transmute this energy that your soul has been carrying for so long, and that maybe has been like in not just your soul, but has been a story for like ancestors of yours. it's really a healing journey of transmuting that, so that the next 7 generations don't have that karma, so you don't pass that on to your children and their children, so they don't have to do that work. So the work you're doing in your subconscious and making these tough decisions to be authentic, and the way you serve humanity is both helping, it's doing 2 things. It's helping yourself evolve, your personal soul evolve, and it's helping the collective evolve. And when the 6 of Wands and this 8 of Wands reversed here in between the Knight of Wands and the Magician, it's really just a message of you saying yes to spirit and getting out of your own way. And even if you don't see the end now, the path to self-awareness, the journey towards self-realization, is what's gonna bring you that fulfillment and feeling of confidence in who you are, come through so that you can create the life that you seek for yourself, that you desire, that you want to create. It's going to transmute these energies of stuck, passion being stuck, flow being stuck, not being able to move forward. And it's not it's not going to be something you have to think about or rationalize or work and plan out for it to happen. And I'm not saying just make decisions like when you feel it, like not to plan anything or think things through. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that when you commit to doing the work and to being your authentic self and saying yes to that, and choosing to go in that direction. It's just gonna flow. Life is just gonna feel more like a flow, instead of things that are happening to you that you have to strategize and think and work out, and in order, like, to have this, you're gonna have to take a loss with this and sacrifice. Yeah, I think that's all. And so you're on the right path. You're on the path. This is the path. You might not see it now. In the card, this woman is standing by the ladder, looking off into the distance of the mountains and the stars, not paying attention to the ladder that's right beside her. That is leading up to the sky, up to the clouds, and where she's possibly like dreaming of being. So just keep taking those like next steps, down into yourself, and then that will lead to action in the outer. Yeah. Alright, well, thank you, Group 2. I think that's all the messages I have for you today. I hope you got something out of it. I know my readings are a little long and spacey, but that's just the way I do it. So that's my authenticity. That's my authentic self. Like I said, I hope at the very least you got a little peace and understanding about where you're at, and hope for the future, and that everything is gonna be okay. You're not alone. You have, even though you can't see them, you have your ancestors, your guides, a spiritual team all around you, sending you messages, synchronicities, signs, downloads, to help you on your path that you are already on. You don't have to do anything. You're on it just by becoming aware that is the growth that then will lead to action, and self-love, everything you need to be the Magician and this King of Wands energy. So thank you so much. If you resonated with this reading, I would be super grateful to you if you liked and subscribed to my channel. And also, I do offer personal readings. You can get in touch with me by email. My email is in the description box below. Other than that, I wish you all the best. Thank you so much for joining me. It was a pleasure reading your cards, and I hope you'll join me for my next reading. So, wherever you are in the world, whatever time it is, I hope you have a good rest of your day or night. Thank you. Hi Group 3, welcome to your reading. Just clearing the energy from the previous reading. I already smudged the runes because I'm going to start out with them and the cards. I'm just going to finish with myself. And I will leave this here to burn till it decides to stop. So, Group 3, you chose the card Wisdom from the Queen of the Moon Oracle deck. So let's see what your spirit, guides, ancestors, angels have to say about who you were in a past life, and how it relates to your personality and your life purpose in this life. Alright, Spirit, what do you want Group 3 to know? What messages you want to bring through to Group 3 today? So you got the eye right in the middle, just like Group 1. I feel like there have been certain themes with each of these readings, like they've all had a bit of each other in each one. So if you had a hard time choosing, and if you felt drawn to Group 1, that could be why. I don't know. We haven't got a tarot yet, so let's get to that first. But oh, and then 2 also had like a moon and a woman gazing at the stars with a ladder. So you could have been drawn. You could have had a hard time picking between all 3, and there could be messages for you on all 3. Take what resonates, leave the rest, right? So the eye here, and with it being in between these 2 rooms. So the eye is about, it's like similar to the moon, like high priestess energy, I would say. Occult, pagan, you know, the old religion energy, not traditional. Also, like being able to, like, it's Pluto energy, I feel like, as well, like getting to the heart of things, being able to like see through people's facades and situations, and getting to like the heart of the matter. yeah, psychic abilities, seeing the truth. You could be claircognizant, any type of psychic ability, really. But you could just know things, just get these like downloads randomly and not knowing where that came from. Like, you wouldn't have just thought of that, but you know that somehow. I think that's part of your personality. That's a big part of who you are and who you have been in past lives. And I feel like it's, people see you as you know, someone who maybe is a little bit mysterious, but who can tell that you know when or if like they're lying to you, even if they don't say it or give it away. Like, they're very cautious with what they share with you because I feel like they can sense that you or they're very like elaborate if they do try to lie to you, and they feel like they have to put a lot of work into trying to get away with lying to you, because you just know. And then we've got the sun. In group 2 we had the moon. You guys got the sun. Very yang energy. Well, I feel like the eyes like yin energy. And then we have on the other side that came out, you got the star. So people could see you as somebody who's lucky and who is a very like magnetizing personality. Very, maybe people see you as very confident, even if you don't feel confident fully in yourself. It's the way you people perceive you, the way you come off to the world, those around you. I feel like you carry yourself with a lot of dignity. Even if you're not super confident, I feel like you have a lot of self-worth, and just like I said in group 2, I feel like you also don't take shit from people, so like, or kiss anybody's ass. So that comes through to people as you being someone very sure of yourself and confident, even if inside, while yeah, you know what you're worth and you're not going to kiss ass, you might be like super unsure of yourself and nervous and anxious. Yeah, because the star is, it's that yin energy. It's the stars come out at night, right? So it's the yin, the inner. So you might not be that confident in who you are, or like letting people sharing what you know, sharing your experiences and knowledge with others. But the star, the description of the star, I got a little cheat sheet. It's it says your life purpose. Look to the runes closest to the star for clues. So the star is on the outside of the eye right here. So your life purpose there's been a theme, has something to do, and with this moon, wisdom being the card you chose, something to do with communicating that which is hidden, that which may be taboo, that people don't speak about, healing, helping to heal the feminine energy with this sun here too, helping to bring into balance, a healthy balance and harmony between, the masculine and feminine energies in the world somehow. Okay, let's get some tarot. The sage is still burning a little bit, so I'm just going to sage it. Okay, Spirit. First I'm going to get a couple cards just to describe your personality, to see how other people see you, how you view yourself, like what comes through mainly, the traits that come through mainly. First card that came out, Strength reversed. Alright, spirit guides, angels, ancestors. What messages do you have for group 2 today about their personality and how it relates to their past lives and their life purpose? Okay, so Justice. Wow, 2 major arcanas right out of the gate. And 8 of Swords reversed. Yeah, that was in pile 2. So, could have also been drawn to pile 2. Had a hard time choosing. And the bottom of the deck is 9 of Pentacles. Yeah, and you've got the Sun rune, and then the Strength card is associated with Leo, so that could be relevant to you. You could have a lot of fire in your chart, or a lot of planets in Leo. but maybe you have some stressful aspects toward these planets, or toward your sun, if your sun's in Leo. If you have a lot of Leo, being that strength is reversed. And you know how I said I was picking up on that energy of like, people may see you as confident and you carry yourself with dignity and you know your self-worth, but you might not necessarily feel confident inside, even though that's what's being projected to the outer world. Like, that could be a protection mechanism with strength reversed here. And the person that's in this picture on the strength card is wearing a mask covering half his face. So you could be very, and I always associate the strength card with vulnerability, so you could be very uncomfortable yeah, like I was saying earlier, then with this star beside the eye, feeling like you can really show yourself to others, or being very cautious about who you allow in to see that part of you. That vulnerable part of you. Yeah, that softer part of you. Where your like authentic self, your inner emotional self. With the moon here, and then the star rune. I feel like people see you though with this Justice, and then you chose Wisdom Oracle card, as well as I feel like, remember I said I feel like people can sense that you know when they're lying to you, and it takes a lot of effort to like come up with something that they feel like to come up with a lie that they feel like you'll believe. I feel like this Justice card just confirms that that trait that you have, and that the way people perceive you, the way you come off, but then with this Wisdom, like I feel like people also see you, and you see yourself. I feel like you are very fair and able to see and take into consideration other people's perspectives, in an objective way. And I feel like people respect you because they see that about you. They see that, you treat while you've got a lot of fiery energy, and maybe can come across as a little intimidating, because the picture on this card is very intimidating and can be a little mysterious. I feel like people see you as someone who doesn't judge a book by its cover. You know what I mean? Who will stand up for what they feel to be right. And that sometimes that energy can be like a little bit intimidating. Maybe when you get fired up and angry, like about a cause or any kind of situation where you feel like that you feel is unfair, or isn't just or in the presence of like what you perceive to be ignorance, like you're very not shy about standing up for what you believe is right. Which is also a message that came out in group 2. So yeah, there are themes throughout all these readings. So if you had a hard time picking, there could be messages for you in each one, and not every message has to resonate. With this 8 of Swords reversed, yeah, I feel like people see you as someone who isn't easily taken advantage of, and who is very aware, self-aware, and observative of and considerate and can see all sides of different perspectives and you know, someone who isn't trapped in the ignorance or the perspective of their own subjective experience. Like they can take into account others' experiences regardless of their own, or like your eyes are open to the deeper issues, and you're someone that can't be tricked or fooled, and you're maybe a little mysterious, like I said earlier. This card is always giving me Piscean energy, so it's like, and you know, the moon and the eye, the high priestess, the strength card with the mask, you know, you're I feel like you're always surprising people. Like maybe they don't like they don't always expect for you to react or voice your opinion when you do. But when you do, it does always come across as kind of like very kind of forceful, but also true. And I feel like people think highly of you in that regard. But they also I feel like maybe kind of like on social issues and stuff, when you voice your opinion, they can see you as like a dreamer and like, you know, hoping or giving energy and effort to something that they feel like is impossible to achieve. You know, they see you as a dreamer, and I feel like that's why you feel like you need to be have that energy of like being protective of yourself and who you show that side of yourself to, because you don't want to come across as naive or weak. So Alright, let's get more cards. Alright, Spirit, what does Group 3 need to hear about their past lives? And how it's affecting their personality, or how it's coming out in, or showing up in this life. So who were they in a past life? What messages about Group 3's past lives do you have for me today? For us today? For them today, I should say. Okay. The Hermit reversed. Six of Cups reversed. Nine of Swords reversed. Let me get two more. Three of Cups reversed. And Three of Swords. Bottom of the deck, you've got Five of Cups. So yeah, if you had a hard time choosing, like I said earlier, all these readings have a similar theme of loss. Yeah, I feel like with this Five of Cups on the bottom of the deck, underneath it the Eight of Pentacles, the pictures on these are really interesting. There's sacred geometry behind the man in this Five of Cups card. You see, he's like looking over his shoulder. And then in this Eight of Pentacles card, it looks like they're horns, like they're humans, like there's some kind of creature or being with horns, like coming out by their ears or above their ears. And then with this Three of Cups reversed, the Six of Cups reversed, and then this Three of Swords, of course. It was a feeling of needing to choose between your work and emotional fulfillment, gratification, whether you had to or not, I don't know, but that was the feeling. And you felt like no matter what you chose, like you had to choose something, and no matter what you chose, you're never going to be fulfilled. You're always going to have this feeling of like heartbreak. Yeah, it was a feeling of, with this Hermit reversed and it relating to Taurus, the Hermit, personal values, what you find important, what personal comfort, and the knowledge that is of that is brought by, isolation, and going inward. You felt like you couldn't have that. Like it was always a feeling of loss. Just like in other readings, you felt like you couldn't show or let people know or be authentic with people about who you were and the knowledge that you have, the wisdom that you have, probably occult wisdom, and your own values, the things that you see about the world and about people and about yourself, because you'll never there would be nothing to gain from that. You felt like you would never achieve what you desire from that, which is like a sweet, like loving relationship with someone that's like you and understands you. If you communicated and did the work that you felt like was authentic to you and your values. And that you were here to do. But you also felt the misery of and the loss of a sense of self, of feeling like you can't be your authentic self with anyone. That any road you take will lead to heartbreak. And you could have possibly tried to take one of those two paths and to avoid this, because being in that energy is just this, this Nine of Swords. Can't really see it now. I don't know. Okay, there we go. There's a little flower growing out of the top of it. You knew that not being true to yourself was just going to weigh on you and make you miserable and eat away at your mind. Not communicating who you are, what you know, what you see, what you believe. Maybe you came from a very, very traditional family, or you had because the Six of Cups represents childhood, you were in love with a childhood friend or someone you knew from your childhood that you grew up with that was very traditional, but you loved them, but you knew they would never see things the way you understood them. You had an awakening, and maybe they were very much religious and wanted to, you knew they wouldn't accept you if they knew the way you saw the world and the knowledge that you had, what you saw about yourself and others, and who you truly were, your true values. That they wouldn't accept you if you didn't want to live that traditional life with them. But I feel like you were compelled to move away, or not even move away, but not pursue this, or maybe break this person's heart even though you love them, because you knew what would happen if you told them the truth. The consequences could be even like you didn't know, maybe they would turn on you, and because of their strong religious beliefs, like turn you in to like the religious authority, and you be murdered for that, you know. So I feel like with this Nine of Swords in reverse and the Six of Cups in reverse, you knew you couldn't be, you had to choose a path where you couldn't be with this person that you loved. Because not being able to be yourself and share who you really were or learned or knew with them would just lead to this constant like obsessing about it and weighing on your mind. So you chose the heartbreak and the loss over of being on this journey towards your authentic self, and the journey of consciousness and you know, being a seer, this wisdom that you held over this, you know, what you felt like was maybe it was the only person you had ever loved romantically, and like that you would never find another like them. So you chose that loss. And that heartbreak. Yeah, over the celebration of being able to be with them and love. You got the Three of Cups reversed and then the Three of Swords upright. You chose the heartbreak. Alright, well that's so sad. Okay, Spirit, what does Group 3 need to know about how this relates to their life today, the choices they make, their life's purpose, how to transmute this energy that they've lived through in past lives, or like a main past life that's affecting them now. What does Group 3 need to hear, Spirit? This is a little different from the other two. That's a lot. That's really heavy. But that was your path. And I feel like you did do a lot of, by that work you did, I feel like you did a lot of self-awareness work in that life that that transmuted a lot of these experiences, or a lot of difficult experiences that in this life you don't have to relive as difficultly. Like maybe you had like taste or remembrances of them, like reminders, but that's not like your life story. Like that's not your main mission. That's not your karma to transcend in this lifetime, because you've already learned that soul lesson, you see. All right. Six of Pentacles reversed. Four of Wands reversed, or upright, I'm sorry. Two of Swords reversed. Four of Pentacles reversed. Let's get one more. And Five of Swords reversed. Knight of Wands on the bottom of the deck. Yeah, the work you did in these past lifetimes, or this one main past lifetime, really has put you on the fast track to expansion and the journey of self-realization and self-awareness. So even though it's been a difficult one, I'm sure, because they are regardless, but like when it comes in fast and you don't expect it, it's just like, stop kicking me when I'm down, please, just let me get up and recover. Like, but it's all so that you can have this Four of Wands energy, this and this Knight of Wands, this feeling of moving forward and being able to express yourself and transcend limits that and stories that or programs running that you that kept you from knowing yourself. And you know, it's the removing of obstacles in between you and your soul evolution. Not removing of obstacles completely, because we all have obstacles, but the obstacles that stood in the way, the programs that made you believe things about yourself and reality that were not beneficial to your soul growth. And that ultimately were only hurting you and keeping you in a space of lack and feeling like I used this analogy in one of the other readings, I don't remember, but like feeling like you're I think it's group 1, a squirrel stocking up for winter, hoarding like all these things because you don't have enough, because you'll never get what you desire. Because you're scared of not having enough, whether it's, you know, it can be all like physical security, love, you know, money, resources. Success with creative endeavors, children, people that you can share what you're passionate about with. You know, all this stuff is coming up to cut through so that you can recognize where it's coming from. And you've learned this stuff before. This isn't the first time, but you're on the fast track now. And this 2 of Swords reversed, 5 of Swords reversed, 4 of Pentacles reversed. Yeah. Underneath Knight of Wands, we've got the Magician reversed. Yeah. All this stuff is coming up. These experiences all the obstacles, the programming, keeping you between you and your soul's expansion are being disintegrated right now. And it's, you did this work in the past, you know, and the Magician is all about alchemy and transmuting, and the Knight of Wands, this energy rushing in, this awareness, this wisdom that you have now and that you've had in past lives. Is helping you to become that which you are. I'm just giving, I don't even know, the glare is so bad. From feeling powerless to feeling empowered as a spirit on a journey co-creating this life with your higher self, and consciously moving through the lessons of this lifetime. Instead of avoiding them. Or feeling like you can't, like with this Two of Swords reverse, move forward, get past them. It's learning how to recognize where this feeling of lack and insecurity and maybe not feeling safe in your body comes from, feeling it, feeling the fear, but also going after your desires and knowing that you can, by being self-aware, you can use these obstacles as a tool and these downloads or these realizations as a tool to create and obtain consciously what you're passionate about, what your desires are that are for the highest good, like of yourself and the highest good for humanity, so for the collective. Okay. Thank you so much for watching. I think that's all the messages I have for you today, Pile 3. I hope you got something out of it. If at the very least you got a little bit of hope and clarity and reassurance. If you did resonate with me and this reading, if you stuck with it all the way through, thank you so much. I know that I can be a little long-winded when I speak and when I give readings. But I really thank you from the bottom of my heart if you stuck with it. That's just me. So if you resonate with me And with this reading, please subscribe and give the video a like or comment. And also, I do private and personal in-depth readings, which go a little smoother because I'm not like getting messages, like several messages at once that need to come out, like it's just for you. But yeah, if you resonate with my energy and would like a personal reading, the way to get in touch with me is my email, and that is in the description box below. Otherwise, I appreciate you. It was a pleasure reading your cards. Thank you so much. I hope you'll join me next time, wherever you are in the world, whatever time it is. I hope you have a good rest of your day or night. Okay. Thank you.